Folks, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. Happy Sunday. Do you have schemes? Is it a scheming Sunday, perhaps? Maybe you need some Skarsnik in your life. He is very popular these days amongst the greenskin, mostly because of his fermented fungi and his anti-large capabilities. You'll actually see in this battle, though, that Pertani does something I didn't even know was possible. He took Skarsnik without the fermented fungi. Again, didn't even know that was an option at this point, but he is scheming against the Empire, and the Emperor himself has taken notice of said schemes and has decided to ride out to meet the Goblin menace directly on. So Franz has brought some Outriders with grenade launchers, some Spearmen, the Swords of Sigmar. There are some Huntsmen here, a Jade Wizard supporting Karl, who of course is on his Mount Deathclaw. He does have the Rune Fang, and he will be very, very powerful here. There is the Ragnarok Queen back here, as well as some more Goblins. Front line is Night Goblins. And then the Warlord's boys, Night Goblins. There is a Gobbo Shaman, a Night Goblin Shaman, who is supporting here with Itchy Nuisance and Curse at a Bad Moon. And you can see Karl Franz immediately spots the Shaman and wants to take him out of the fight. Not a bad choice. He's going to get hit by the Rusty Arrows. Skarsnik is somewhat nearby. The Knights of the Blazing Sun, looking to light up the Greenskins' world. Get a very nice charge here into the flank of these Night Goblins and put a pretty significant hurt on them. Though there were Squig Hoppers and Spider Riders galore here for the Greenskins, and the Squig Hoppers got in and did some very quick damage to the Huntsmen. I really like Squig Hoppers, the anti-infantry, as well as armor piercing. They're very low leadership, but when they do get into the right fight, I really like the Squig Hoppers. I find them to be extremely useful in the right scenarios, like, for instance, against, like, Dwarf Skirmishers. A little bit hard to deal with Dwarf leadership, but Squig Hoppers actually get damage done fairly quick against those. You can see some over here, 58 kills. These ones did rout, but not before they got 60 kills. So you can see here, Sigmar's Sons, the only reason that the front line hasn't fallen apart, that and, of course, the Knights of the Blazing Sun. The Spearmen were quickly dealt with by the Night Goblins, and the excellent coordinated attack with the Light Cavalry. Greenskins, we talked about it in the last Warhammer video I made, which was the Why Did I Lose video. Greenskins are just excellent with Light Cavalry. It's one of their big strengths, and I love seeing it used well, and I feel like it was used well here because this all-Goblin army is going to need plenty of support to take down something like Karl Franz on Deathclaw. He's very tough. And in that case, I do like the pick of Skarsnik. It makes it very difficult for the Empire to goon your Lord out of the fight and leave you vulnerable to the losses of morale that you would suffer otherwise. Also like the Spider Rider archers here being used to poison stuff like the Knights of the Blazing Sun. They don't do tons of damage to them right away, but that is damage that the Knights don't want to be taking, and they are very much slowed down. So a very even fight right now. The Wa is fully charged. The Greenskins have yet to use it. Another Squig routes here, but another one coming back for more action. This is very typical for the Greenskins. You may rout them, but they'll come back for seconds, maybe even thirds sometimes, depending. Jade Wizard back here supporting Franz. Franz is going to be getting some help. He is getting regrowth, which is definitely saving him here from the Ragnarok Queen, who is putting a beating on him. I like how Sigmar's Sons are able to bog down Skarsnik and keep him away from Karl Franz. That is a nice play. I failed to mention the steam tank back here. He hasn't done a ton so far other than kind of fend off some light cavalry. But you're going to see the steam tank here aimed at the Ragnarok Queen. That's a good choice. So good place for the steam tank to be, back with some support. See the Huntsmen here wanting to trade shots with the Spider Rider archers, but they are under threat of the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, who unfortunately for the Greenskins here just stopped short. I guess they didn't have an attack order or lost it along the way. And then over here the Squig Hoppers get caught by the Knights of the Blazing Sun, and they are going to be destroyed, lit on fire, if you will. We do have some spider hatchlings here that were summoned to try and keep Franz on the ground, but they failed, and we're going to get one last regrowth here on Franz, and that will probably put him up at his healing cap. He is taking some shots from the differing archers, but definitely still the best chance for the Empire, and again, a pretty even fight here, according to the power bar, because of the power that Franz brings here. But Franz does have to deal with a fairly healthy Ragnarok Spider and a fairly healthy Skarsnik, both of which will be difficult for Franz to fight. He can get good charges on them, both poison though, and again you have the spider hatchlings and other things that can bog them down. Plus the Greenskins are starting to be left with a whole lot of chaff units. And this is not where you want to be when fighting against the Greenskins. You don't want them to have all this chaff to help surround their leader and keep a leader like Skarsnik alive. Definitely not what you're wanting to find there. Nice charge by the Spider Riders. They've used most of their ammunition. They're going to charge into the Huntsman, try and do some damage to the Huntsman and the Jade Wizard. I think a good play there. We're going to see these Squigs come back into action, and they are going to go in a charge against the Spearmen. The Spearmen are braced, so they do have a bonus, some protection against this charge, but still, that'll be pretty devastating because of the anti-infantry nature of the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, and we see that that is true. The Spearmen did get savaged there. Franz has to come back down, and look at this, though. Takes the Spider right out of the fight with the help of the Steam Tank. What a play. Franz making himself felt. Actually swings the power bar slightly in favor of the Empire now. So Franz making a play to put an end to Skarsnik in his schemes and be done with him. So it was a nice play indeed. You can see some goblins come in chasing him off. Spider Rider archers fleeing around in the back, or actually not fleeing, but just running around chasing stuff. Probably fleeing units. Got the Squig Hoppers and other units back here. The Squig Hoppers have done some good work this battle, in my opinion. And the thing is they're not crazy expensive, so they don't have to do a ton of work to make themselves worth it. Steam Tank is going to be a tough target. You can see that here as Skarsnik starts to tear into it, but slow going on getting the damage done on it. Franz, however, lands over here and then gets hit by a whole bunch of poisoned spiders, and then there's a bunch of infantry ready to swarm him. And this is really not where Franz is going to want to be in life. He does get a little bit of cavalry support here, but it is very limited. The Ragnarok Queen has come back from routing and will have a chance to outflank the tank. Outflank the tank, I like it. So here comes Mrs. the Queen, and Steam Tank actually trying to flee back a little or something. Probably not wanting to get bogged down there, and it takes massive damage in the process of pulling back from that fight. If it gets hit by Skarsnik or the Ragnarok Queen, yeah, it's going to be taking big chunks out of it. Franz does manage to bully his way out of that infantry fight and get back up in the air, but he took considerable damage. You can see the power bar actually now swung slightly in favor of the Greenskins, likely because of the damage they're doing to this tank, and then a little bit of damage that was done to Karl there. Karl's going to come in and try and swing this back the other way. Now, you do get terror from the tank against Skarsnik. It will not work terror-wise on the Ragnarok Queen, but, you know, he can break leadership, and leadership did get quite low, so see here, terrified the goblins. So Karl and the Steam Tank are both terror-inducing units. It has not worked on Skarsnik. The Ragnarok Queen's taking massive damage, but the Empire is taking too much damage. You can see this power bar just swinging more and more in favor of the goblins, and so it looks like the goblin schemes will carry the day here, and Skarsnik will be able to move on to plunder the Reekland, as Grom so likes to call it. Not really sure exactly what Skarsnik will be renaming it, but no doubt there will be large piles of dung and a great deal of looting follow, as is typical for any greenskin victory. I mean, the bigger the pile of dung, the more you'll be remembered, in fact, for your accomplishments. I kind of feel like that's just how the greenskins have to roll. So, Steam Tank is dealt with, and it is a Pyrrhic victory for Skarsnik and his goblins, who apparently are students of ancient history. Reading about those battles, the Pyrrhic victory, you gotta love it. Yeah, so Pritani, thanks for sending in the replay. Pritani is also a mod on my Discord. It's fantastic. Really appreciate all he does in the community. He is fantastic, so definitely appreciate him sending this in, and hope he is doing well. Love the Squig Hoppers and the Spider Riders. This is a really fun goblin army. It provides quite a bit of flexibility, mobility. It's weak up front, but it's got Skarsnik to kind of help tie it down, and then the Spider to help out with the front line as well. But just a lot of support from the flanks between the Spider Riders and the Squig Hoppers. And like I said, if we just take a look here, Squig Hoppers aren't very expensive. So like these ones, pretty easy to get your value out of. And even when you didn't get the value, this one was mostly still alive and already had 400 gold value. So like I said, it's not that difficult to kind of make the Squig Hoppers work if you just pick them in a fight where they kind of make sense. I think they can make sense in this fight. And so well done there. But I mean, look at this. Knights of the Blazing Sun, 182 kills, picked up a Chevron, 1357, 13,000 raw damage. The Steam Tank, 10,973. I mean, pretty solid performance. Karl Franz, 2,318 on the value. Another Knights of the Blazing Sun here. It did not get the value it was looking for, but I mean, just some fun battle here. Really appreciate Cataract here. for going in with Pertani and playing some battles. And I will be back a little bit light this weekend. I'm going to be taking pretty much every Saturday off for videos, just spend the day with my boys. I do a lot of work morning through evening, and they get really excited when they have a day where I'm not working. So Saturdays, I'm not saying I'll never have content on Saturdays, but I probably won't most Saturdays. I think it's the way you all should count on it. If I do, great. Don't worry about it. I didn't take time away from my family to do it. But you know, if you don't see a video from me on Saturday, it's usually just because I'm taking some extra time with the boys and my wife. Anyway, hope you all having a great weekend. Stay warm. I don't know what it's like where you're at. Hopefully you're in the southern hemisphere. Freaking cold where we're at, so some kind of Arctic blast I'm getting to experience. A little bit of what Canada goes through basically every day of the year. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you all soon with some more action in Total War.